I'm claiming housing benefit at the moment, which where I live in East London, it's maximum they pay £92. Because I lived there before this coalition came in, Hackney Council have acknowledged that, and they give me a top up, what we call a concession repayment. So they now pay £100 towards my rent, which is £107. But one of my housemates, hers is 115, and she's getting the same amount of housing benefit as I am, so she's able to top up her disability now. So it's really not easy, and there's nowhere to go. Everywhere you look, you know, if you think, okay, I'll move to a cheaper borough, the problem is just transferred to a different area because housing benefit is now set so low. And landlords still won't accept it, and estate agents don't want it either. So moving isn't really a solution because there's nowhere to move to. Because if you move to a cheaper area, the housing benefit levels that they pay are cheaper by comparison, so the equation stays the same. You're struggling with it.
And how did you find today?
I thought today was really good fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's nice to sort of feel you getting one back on them, and they didn't like it. I was really pleased when one estate agent came out and was obviously quite angry at what was happening. I think good enough for you, mate. Yeah, it's nowhere near what you need, but it's what we could do in law. So.
It's true, it was something. What do you think the public's reaction to the protest today was?
Well, as always, it's always a bit mixed, but it was really heartening to see people got it. They instantly understood what we were sort of campaigning against, what we're trying to raise awareness about. Because it's probably a universal experience if you've spent any time in London. Shit housing, overpriced housing, crummy landlords ripping you off, and estate agents ripping you off. So I think everyone's experienced it. No matter where they are now, they've experienced it at some point in London.
And tell me a bit about what you did today. What happened when you arrived?
Well, I arrived and cautiously introduced myself to the group, and then in my weakened state of social anxiety, I was given a script to read, and so I just went along with it, and then took part in a sort of a parody of Monopoly and game shows to highlight these issues that we're all facing. This is feeling weird now.
So you were a contestant. What was your role? Who was your character?
My character was John, a librarian and a dad who lives in Islington, and he was on a sort of 25 grand a year job, which wasn't enough to be able to rent the squad little 10-bedroom thing. So I was a loser, which
you're a loser.
I feel like I've been typecast.
And I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Today's action was organised by Diggs, Hackney Renters, Islington and Tower Hamlet private renters groups. And this is the first one of our actions, but we're also going to, we have training days with shelter, that people are able to come along to workshops, we have meetings to support individuals, and we have meetings to plan what we're going to do next and what we think is going to be effective and engage people. How are you going to get involved in one of our groups?
Well, honestly, I don't know, but I know I would like to get involved because I think housing is central to what's going on in this country. I mean, all these separate dots, they're all connected. You know, what's the financial crisis, it's connected to housing. Everything's connected to it. I don't know how I can get involved, but I want to bring something to it, so hopefully a obvious role will appear.
So we can see you at the next meeting?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
I was compelled by a leaflet I saw in my local pub, which described the day, and I immediately took a picture of it, sent it to my friend because it's an issue we've talked about. It's exploitative landlords and letting agents are a bane of most private renters' lives, and it seemed like the sort of thing that we want to get involved in, find out people within our communities who are also affected. We basically just care. And we decided to come along on a whim, and the turnout was amazing. We really didn't expect many people to come. We were sort of twiddling our thumbs on the way over, but it was such a great experience.
So let's hear a bit more about that. What did you think of the day? What did you
what I liked about it was playful. I mean, it's talking about serious issues, but by brooking it in such a playful, interactive manner, it got every one of us involved, and you notice people in the street stopping, asking questions, looking on, laughing, taking part, and you actually are making a difference in your community, you know, during that during those couple of hours. Yeah, however long it was. Yeah, it was. It seemed really interactive, and it was what a campaign should be.
And in the future, we're looking for people to get involved in maybe doing something similar, or in other group activities. Do you see yourselves? Do you think you'll get involved? What might you like to get involved with?
I would be very happy to get involved in something like this again. The first thing I like to do is find out more about my immediate locality, though. Clapton, Hackney Borough. So getting in touch with Hackney Digs, because I haven't yet, and going from there. Because I do want to get involved in my local area, and this is an issue which affects the people around me. And I mean, if you have an ounce of social spirit in you, it affects you too. What affects others around you affects you a lot. So, from a purely selfish, perspective, it's something that that drives me to look at in my local area. So I'll get involved in more of a local way.
Why did you come along to today's action?
Well, because out of interest, actually, because I belong to the Camden Federation of Private Tenants, right? And this was advertised, and I thought, well, let's see what's going to happen in the demonstration. Good idea to do something, because tenants across the board are having such a bad time of everything. And of course, I don't know too much about letting agents myself, but I know they charge these incredible fees to find homes for people, which I think is immoral.
And how did you find today's action? Could you describe it?
No, I thought it was fun. It was interesting. I like some of the things that you did. And I also like throwing the dice, that was the good one. And lifting the card up and seeing what was on the back of it. No, I thought you did a good job. It's very good. It worked very well. I thought it got people's attention.
Fantastic. And lastly, how might you be involved in the future with other actions that we do?
Well, I'm always willing to, come forward and give a hand, with any other demonstrations you're going to have, or come and your talks, or whatever you're planning. You can always let me know, and then maybe if I think I can contribute something, I'll do it.
And we talked earlier about your professional career as an actor, as a performer.
Yes.
And so might you be interested in taking part? We did a little sketch, didn't we, earlier, the game show.
Oh, yes.
In the future, would you be up for
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, yes, definitely. If I can help, I will do.
And have you got any final thoughts to say to the camera about today, any message you'd like to tell people?
Well, the message is just, we were doing basically about the letting agents. I think basically it's just the rents are getting out of hand. People are being chased out of their homes, and I think it's absolutely outrageous. It's whether you're a council tenant, a short-hold tenant, or a private tenant, or sitting tenant, which I am. I mean, it's just people. With the economy as it is, and people earning less money, and everything being more expensive, I think that people are just meeting the rents becoming a nightmare. Becoming a nightmare. And how people with 2 children and a mortgage to pay, how they're managing, I've got no idea.
Yes. What do you think people should do? Should they get more involved in action?
Well, I think there should be, in my opinion, there should be a massive demonstration from one end of England to the other with our placards and attack Downing Street and get dear Dave there to see if he knows what it's like to be living on what most people are living, So let's try him in a council house for 6 months on £50 a week, see how he gets on. And dear George.
Fantastic, thank you, that was brilliant, Shelley. Bloody brilliant.
Okay.
Why did you come today?
I came today because I work for a private tenants organisation, the Camden Federation of Private Tenants, and I came here to support the action because I think action does need to be taken against letting agents.
What did you think of today?
I thought it was great. It was really creative. It created a bit of a buzz, got a lot of interest from passers-by, and we are hoping to do a similar thing in Camden at some point. So it's given us some really interesting ideas.
And you were already involved. So what do you see as the future of London rentals?
Well, I think we need to create a private tenants movement in London, but also we need to create a private tenants movement nationally, because at the moment private tenants are a group of people that don't have a political voice. Although there are lots of private tenants, over half of them aren't even registered to vote, so it's a very large group, but it's not a group that politicians take particularly seriously. And I think for me this is one of the first steps that we need to take to create a tenants movement.